forage our efforts in forage are a bit bigger. Turf is more like an ornamental, you know, and it has to look good and stay good in sports, etc. Whereas in forage it is quantitative. You measure yield, you know, and there is also, you know, for both disease tolerance is important, drought tolerance is important, nitrogen use efficiency is important for both. You know, still there's a quantitative and a qualitative difference. So you know, if you look at drought tolerance, your turf just has to stay green. If it doesn't grow, doesn't matter. It's nice if it doesn't grow, but it has to stay green and healthy. Whereas in forage, you need to have yield. So drought tolerance is more like it still has to produce biomass, whereas in turf that just has to stay green and nice. You know, so that's a completely different approach for both groups, really. But there's the same traits that apply to it. Seed yield is another thing, of course, that applies to both. You know, so you have to grow seeds, otherwise you have nothing to sell. Okay, so and that's important for both groups and for all species. The challenge for breeders is if you look at breeding now and breeding 20 years ago or 30 years ago, there's more and more traits coming in. Okay, so in the past you look at yield and disease tolerance and persistency, but now you have to look at drought tolerance, nitrogen use efficiency. What else? You know, there are so many more traits that are coming in all the time. Plus, it's becoming more scientific with all the DNA analysis that are being done. Okay, so it's just becoming more and more complicated all the time. More traits and more science behind it, so you also need more disciplines. So you need a bioinformatician. You cannot, you know, a breeder cannot analyze a DNA sequence. You need specialized people to do that. You know, so there's more disciplines coming into the field of plant breeding. Whereas in the past, you could, as a breeder, you walk in the field and you make your decisions, you choose plants, put them together. But now you have to measure a lot more things. You have to analyze other traits. You know, and that you need specialized equipment, you need rainout shelters, you need hydroponics, you need so much more equipment also to test your material and select the best plants possible. So that's, you know, it's just becoming more and more complicated to select plants and to do plant breeding, which also requires more people, more money, more time. Yes, we're growing all the time. We're opening new research stations, we're getting more technology in-house, we're hiring people to do those, to perform that work in those other disciplines. Plant pathology, you know, and there's a lot of fields that require more efforts.